This is the second Huldafolk book. It's called The Huldafolk Forever Friends. And it is Snorri and Snibjorn's friends, Freya and Fiola. My name is Freya. My friend Fiola and I are small spirit people from Iceland. We are Huldafolk, and we came to Gimli to save our friends, Snorri and Snibjorn. Snorri and Snibjorn left Iceland 100 years ago, and if they do not see another Huldafolk, they will soon lose their magic powers and fade away forever. Fiola means flower in Icelandic. She has the gift of seeing the beauty inside people. Her eyes are blue like the color of forget-me-nots. She has hair the color of a buttercup and cheeks that blush like a wild rose. She delights in playing tricks on the creatures in the garden, but her favorite place to play tricks is in the kitchen. So watch for her in your kitchen. She may come to visit. Freya means goddess of love. I have the gift of knowing when love is real. My hair is chestnut brown, like the hair of my Icelandic horse, Christine. My eyes are green, the color of a shamrock. Maybe that is why I'm so lucky. Luck is exactly what Fiola and I need if we are to find our friends before their time is up. Our journey begins in Iceland. One day, when I was looking out the North Atlantic Ocean, I felt a tug in my heart. It was as if the magic in the wind was trying to warn me that 100 years was almost up. Soon Snorri and Snibjorn would start to fade away till there was nothing left and then disappear forever. They had left Iceland because a volcano erupted, sending lava spewing all over the island and causing people to flee for their lives. The Icelanders decided to come to Canada, where they would be given land to live and farm. Snorri and Snibjorn chose to lead the Icelanders to Canada because they could read the stars. The stars, the moon, and sun better than any Huldafolk in Iceland. But in all the excitement and commotion, Snorri and Snibjorn did not get to say goodbye to Fiola and me. But what had kept them from returning home? What were they doing in this faraway land? Would they even remember the warning of their fate if they did not see a Huldafolk in 100 years? Fiola and I had no way of knowing what happened to the Icelanders when they landed on the shores of Lake Winnipeg. Snorri and Snibjorn had helped them find shelter by a huge white rock that was so big the Icelanders were protected from the icy north winds. On that night, a baby was born. After the birth of baby Jon, the winds calmed and the lake settled. Snorri and Snibjorn had sat on the white rock and realized they could never return to Iceland because they had been there for the birth of baby Jon. They were bound to protect him forever. They both felt a shiver as they remembered the warning. If they did not see another Huldafolk in the next 100 years, poof, they would be gone, disappear forever. They could only hope in the next 100 years another Huldafolk would come to Canada. Finally, we got some news. My horse Christine heard a young girl tell them about the Huldafolk who lived in Canada, in a small town called Gimli. The Huldafolk had to be Snorri and Snibjorn, for we had not heard of any other Huldafolk leaving Iceland. Christine said that they were living in the attic of an old school. Huldafolk love attics. Fiola and I also lived in an attic. It is the top floor in the home of the President of Iceland. It has spider lace curtains, soft woolly rugs, feather beds, and candles in lava rocks that light our nights. The staircase in our cozy home leads directly to the kitchen, our favorite place. It is especially wondrous when filled with the aromas of our favorite foods, like yummy pannukakor and the thin pancakes filled with brown sugar. One night the kitchen was buzzing with excitement. Fiola and I could not believe our ears. The President of Iceland was invited to Canada and was leaving for Gimli the next day. We could save Snorri and Snibjorn. That was if we could find them in time. We could go to Canada by doing the magic itchy twitchy dance that makes us so small that we could hide in the president's suitcase. We ran upstairs to our attic to pack the magic things we would need to help us find Snorri and Snibjorn. I carefully wrapped the sheep's horn in a wool blanket. The horn is used to call for help and can only be heard by Heldefolk. If Snorri and Snibjorn were in Gimli, they would be sure to hear the magic sound. Fiola brought her puffin feathers, the magic ones she used to talk with birds, and small creatures that fly. Surely the puffin feathers would work on the birds in Gimli. It was really the sight of Fiola and me that would save Snorri and Snibjorn. That was if we could even see them, and they had not already faded away. I decided to pack a few things I knew Snorri and Snibjorn might have missed, like the candles we used to say the peace prayer repeated by all Icelanders around the world on Christmas Eve. I also packed lava rocks, a little piece of Iceland. Now we were ready to do the magic itchy twitchy dance, which goes like this. Itchy twitchy itty bitty, twist and turn, pop, I'm small. Cute. We never got a wink of sleep in the suitcase on the flight from Iceland to Canada. The president's Lopi wool sweater is beautiful but so scratchy that Fiola started itching and twitching like our magic dance. The faster the dance, the bigger we get. Fiola started to grow. I pulled the Lopi sweater away to stop her dance before she turned into a giant, and we both burst out of the airplane. Ah, Gimli at last. We did our itchy twitchy dance so we would be big enough to get around Gimli. Itchy twitchy itty bitty, twist and turn, pop, I'm tall. We made our way to the lake and wiggled our toes in the warm white sand. We saw two big white birds with huge yellow beaks. Fiola waved the puffin feathers, and the funny-looking birds soared down directly in front of us. We introduced ourselves through the feathers, and they told us they were Ole and Ola. And when we asked if they knew any Huldafolk, they threw back their beaks and laughed. They said two of the best friends were Snorri and Snibjorn. We told Ole and Ola that Snorri and Snibjorn were in extreme danger of disappearing forever. Ole and Ola told us Snorri and Snibjorn could be found in the Icelandic festival parade or at the park. So if you go to Gimli and go to the Íslendingadagurinn, this is the parade. The name of the Icelandic festival is Íslendingadagurinn, the word almost as long as my horse's tail. We hurried off with the president to ride in the parade and save our friends before they faded away. The parade was a stream of color and excitement. Clowns, balloons, musicians, floats, and people called Shriners filled the street. The children shouted, "Look, there are more Huldafolk." Our hearts were filled with joy because so many people could see us. You know, you can only see Huldafolk if they let you, and if you believe in them. We can magically appear and disappear, or be any size we wish. The president's car finally arrived at the park. There was a stage filled with choirs and speakers telling tales of days gone by. Fiola spotted a beautiful woman wearing the most exquisite straw hat. The brim was a golden glow of sunny-faced daisies. Fiola said the lady had inner beauty that shone like the sun and warmed everyone's heart. We knew she was special, and she would carry us to Snorri and Snibjorn. We hoped for a glimpse of Snorri and Snibjorn. Suddenly, from behind the podium, popped Snorri's beautiful blue hat. But he had already started to fade and was barely able to walk. Fiola and I fumbled and tumbled to get the magic sheep's horn out of her smock and almost dropped it to the ground. Finally, with it held tight between our little hands, she blew the horn as loud as she could. Snorri and Snibjorn stopped in their tracks. Their heads started to frantically twirl around, looking in the direction of the almost forgotten but familiar sound. When they cast their eyes upon us, their colors became stronger and they leapt off the stage. Running as fast as their Huldafolk legs could carry them, they tumbled and rolled, zigging and zagging around and over people, spilling coffee and knocking over ice cream along the way. Uh-oh. Have to see all the Cracker Jacks and apples and candy. Fiola and I jumped off the brim of the flowery hat, but we landed in a soft pink sticky cloud of cotton candy. We started to disappear into the pink cloud. Snorri and Snibjorn arrived just before we were scooped up into a garbage bag. Ooh. Snorri and Snibjorn plucked us from the sticky goop, and we danced around until we were all the same size. Itchy, twitchy, itty bitty, twist and turn, pop. We had saved our forever friends. Birds and butterflies and bumblebees danced in the air. The leaves of the trees rustled like laughter, and Huldafolk flowers sprouted up magically. The beautiful lady in the daisy hat gently picked us up and whispered, "You are truly forever friends. And remember, never wait 100 years to tell someone you love them." And there's Kathy Arneson again, and Jerry Johnson, who does all the artwork. There we go. The Huldafolk Forever Friends. Now, this is the girls' story, because in Iceland, they have the most amazing gender equality. So what boys do, girls do as well. And so there's a boy book and a girl book, and everybody's happy. Góða nótt. Good night.